TIFU by forgetting to mute myself during a work video call. This actually happened earlier this week, and I'm still trying to shake off the embarrassment. Like many people these days, I've been working from home and attending countless video calls for meetings. You'd think after all this time, I'd have a good handle on muting and unmuting myself, but apparently not. So, here's the foo. I was on a video call with my entire team, including my manager, discussing our current project. I thought I had muted myself since I didn't have much to contribute at that point in the meeting. And my cat decided it was the perfect time to jump onto my desk and demand attention. I'm a sucker for my cat, so I started talking to her in that high-pitched, cutesy voice we all use when speaking to our pets. You know, the kind of voice that would make you cringe if someone caught you using it. Well, as you can probably guess, my cat woke up and chose chaos that day and hit the unmute button without my knowledge. Suddenly, I noticed the awkward silence on the call and saw my colleagues trying to suppress their laughter. My manager, with a smirk on her face, said, I think your cat has some interesting insights, but we should probably get back to the project." That's when it hit me that I had been broadcasting my baby talk to my entire team. Needless to say, I quickly apologized and muted myself for real this time. The meeting continued, but I couldn't shake the feeling of embarrassment. Now my colleagues won't let me live it down, and I've become the go-to person for cat-related jokes. TLDR. Thought I was muted during a work video call. Ended up sharing my embarrassing baby talk with my cat to the entire team. Now I'm the office's designated cat whisperer. This is cute, haha, especially since your manager made light of the situation. Definitely not a foo. Shows you care about your pets. A massive positive. And you now have something shared with your colleagues, which could hopefully improve morale and how the team work together over time. It'll definitely become less embarrassing to own it. Introduce yourself as the cat whisperer before other people do. NBD. Just think, you could be the guy who thought his cam was off and changed his shirt. It was in the news. At least you weren't telling your cat how incompetent and annoying all your coworkers are. I heard some pretty cringy comments, like, "So and so sure is getting fat," from unmuted folks. Not embarrassing at all. I did this with my dog, and I have a colleague who loves going, "What was that?" whenever someone has something slightly unusual come through. I endured a couple of weeks of it being brought up before someone else did something embarrassing. I just went with it, sorry. My dog was being super adorable. I am 100% certain your coworkers and your manager were delighted for those moments of distraction and humor in the middle of another boring meeting. Besides, everyone who has pets talks like that to their pet at least sometimes. If it makes you feel better, everyone heard me taking a leak for about 5 seconds in Zoom class. During COVID, I was at Yale in one of their music studios. Thankfully we were all friends. Bahaha. This has happened to everyone with an office job since COVID. I once had a daily morning call that fell as I had to drive my kids to school. I just had to listen minimally, so it would play on Bluetooth. I had permission. Everyone was on audio, so it was often hard to tell who was talking. One morning I accidentally unmuted myself as we were walking out the door, and the entire call could hear me, in a sing-song voice, getting my 2-yo to put on his shoes, his coat, hurry up to the door. Eventually everyone went quiet and someone finally was like, "Your kids sound really cute. But whoever that is can go back on mute now." Quote. A year later, I had a similar call when my other kid would get off the bus in the afternoons. Except I needed to talk during this one and couldn't be on mute. NBD. Kid just gets off bus and walks inside. Except I have a flock of chickens with roosters that insist on following me around crowing if I'm outside. Never imagined the day would come where I'd have to open a conference call with, "I apologize in advance for all the background noise from my roosters." That's what they get for insisting on a daily call at 4:30 p.m. They absolutely could have scheduled it at another time but just had no consideration for the fact that there was no after-school childcare available at the time. This is far better than my most recent open mic incident. During a Roll20 D&D game, my GF decides that was the moment for a serious talk and, "Yup. Hey buddy, I don't think you want us hearing this." Cat tax. Cars are 100% the best part of Zoom meetings. It's embarrassing, but you showed a vulnerable side to yourself and people tend to dig that if they're on your team. I wouldn't worry too much. Oh, that's nothing at all. My team would have loved it. Would want to see the cat, then it would have been a full-blown show-and-tell. Cute TIFU lol. At least you weren't diddling yourself.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.